What's goody? It's your host Jay Rose as always, and the playoffs have just begun. All the game ones are in the book, and I'm gonna give my reactions to all those game ones. Let's get into it. Over 90% of the people that watch my content are not subscribed, so if you're messing with the videos, please hit that sub button and the noti bell so you'll get notified every time I upload. But let's get back to the hoops. Yes, sir, and I'm gonna start with Mavs versus Clippers. I know that y'all know I was anticipating that the most, so let's get into that. We can look at the box score real quick. As you can see, we got Luka and Kyrie over 30. I feel like these are a little bit misleading. I don't think Luka had the best games this game, to be honest. Kyrie had a really good game, and he got super duper hot in the third and fourth quarter. Luka obviously got hot at some point too, but he did not shoot well at all. And then in the first half, he looked horrible, to be honest. Nobody else on the Mavs really did anything. Both of the bigs tonight, being Gafford and Lively, got kind of fried by Zubats on the other side, who had 20 points and 15 rebounds. Went crazy. Harden pushed the clock back, 28-8, 22 points for Paul George. We lost by 12. We went down by as many as 29, so we almost got 30 ball at portions of this game. But I'm not worried about it because they shot 50% from three. 50% from three. That's crazy. We shot 30%, only hit 10 threes, 38% from the field. If we could see the breakdown of the game, the first quarter we scored 22, second quarter we scored 8. There's nothing to really overreact about with this game. I feel like it's really just a case where we got super duper cold in the first half, but you can clearly see that we didn't lose by much, even with that quarter where we got completely blown out. So there's no real overreaction here for me, to be honest. I think the Mavs are still going to win the next couple of games soundly. Next up, we have Bucks Pacers, and I'm going to give y'all my overreaction up front. Playoff Dame is back. Turn me up, playoff Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard an entire season to show me he was good at basketball again. He had a very mid-season. I'm just calling it how I see it. Very mid-season. Comes out in the playoffs, first game. Picked a great time to turn me up. 35 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 for 11 from 3. He was hitting all the step backs, all the Damian Lillard-like shots. He had a great game. It was Dame time tonight. Chris Middleton also had a good game. There were some great contributions from Bobby Portis as well. On the other side, to be honest, Reese did not do much. I don't think Reese had a great impact on this game. He still did have 8 assists, 7 rebounds, but Reese didn't impact this game to the portion I think he should be. Pascal Siakam, 36 points on 15 for 25, so he had a real good game. 13 rebounds. The Pacers spent, obviously, the latter half of this game trying to come back from the onslaught that Dame put them through in the first half, so very similar to the Mavs game. I already gave you my overreaction. I think Reese is definitely going to play better than this next game. And that being said, I think playoff Dame is back. That doesn't really mean that I think that the Bucks are going to win all these games. I think if Reese can come back, and look at them, they didn't shoot well either. So I'm just saying, I don't think the best offense in the league is going to come back and do this again. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton is going to have 9 points again. So it's going to be a lot harder for the Bucks to win their next game. They didn't shoot an otherworldly percentage like the Clippers did, but either way, I want to see a lot more of these games from Dame, and hopefully he can keep that up. And I think this will potentially be a fun series even without Giannis playing. And I did say that before the series started too. We're going to keep this short and sweet. I feel like this is not even really an overreaction. The Heat are cooked. Jason Tatum didn't even have a great game, and they won easily. So that's my overreaction. The Heat are cooked. No Jimmy Butler, no wins. I think they're getting swept. I think this team could legitimately hit 50% of their shots and still lose. They shot 46%. I'm just saying, I think they could get it up to 50%, and I still don't think that they would beat the Celtics. I'm not going to lie to you, Chief. So, next series. This was a crazy game. As you can see, Kevin Durant definitely balled out. That's a very underrated and not talked about story from this game, that KD hooped. Everyone's talking about how the Suns got fried, and they did, reasonably so. They had 95 to 120 was the score. So yes, they did get fried, but I'm just saying KD deserves his credit. 11 for 17, 2 for 2 from 3. I was just saying how he wasn't really playing that well going into the postseason, and 31 in game 1, so great turnaround from KD. I like Nurkic's effort, even though it didn't really not really much to show for it on the box score. We got Bradley Beal with 15. He came in really hot, and he did not have a crazy game, but 15 on 6 for 10 is pretty good. D-Book had a stinker. 18 points on 5 for 16 is terrible, D-Book. You got to do better than that. I've been really high on D-Book. This is a horrible game. Terrible game. 5 for 16 is unacceptable, especially when we go on the other side. And Anthony Edwards put on a show. 33 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, shooting efficiently from the field and from 3. So, I mean, hey, he just got outplayed. And here's my overreaction. Anthony Edwards is the best player in this series. After watching that one game, I don't think that would be crazy to say if Anthony Edwards can repeat this again. If Anthony Edwards comes out and he can give me another game similar to this, where he's going off, taking control of the game, really taking it to KD and D-Book and the entire Suns roster, I don't think saying Ant Edwards is the best player in this series is crazy. I don't think that's crazy. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had Minnesota in like 6, but that can really go down to 4 or 5 if they continue to play like this. I think obviously D-Book is going to have a better game, but this is a big margin that y'all lost by, and this defense clearly bothered them. So we'll see what happens going forward. Next series, we got the Knicks versus the 76ers. We got Tyrese Maxey, who had 33 points. Joel Embiid, 29, 8 for 22, not the greatest. He had that crazy dunk where he threw it off the backboard, caught the lob, boomed it, and then immediately went on his back and looked like he was in pain. They were saying that he's okay, and it's really like a mental battle. He's trying to get over this knee injury, and every time he tweaks it or feels something, he feels the need to just give himself a minute. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he looked a lot better than he looked in the play-in. Obviously, he had the confidence to go up for that self alley-oop in the first place. So I like the way Joel Embiid was moving, and in my opinion, this is not how the Knicks wanted to win. This is not how the Knicks wanted to win this game. This was a very ugly win for them. They had to grind it out. Miles McBride, he shot the lights out today. Very big performance from Miles McBride, 21 points. And you're going to need those kind of performances, to be completely honest. You're going to need those 21 points to come from somewhere, whether it's from Josh Hart, where it did today, came from Josh Hart, or that game. We need 21 points from somebody. It's going to have to come from DiVincenzo, Bogdanovic, Anunoby. It has to come from somewhere because you're missing Julius Randle. And with Jalen Brunson shooting this poorly, the defense clearly bothered him. You're gonna have to have guys to back him up offensively. Simple as that. The 3-pointers were going down tonight, so that definitely saved them. They shot a lot better from 3 than they did from the field. And here's my overreaction. The Knicks got to step it up. The Knicks got to step it up. They won this game, and it was very hyped to see them win this game, especially in MSG and the environment. But honestly, if I'm Philly, losing this game at MSG, we only lost by a handful of points. Embiid had to sit out a little bit. He didn't have the best game overall, especially after that portion happened. So I'm not really bugging out too much about losing this game. We're going to come back. Maxey had a great game. If Maxey comes out, he's actually supposed to be sick. So we'll see if he plays today or not. But either way, I think the Sixers played very well. And if Joel Embiid comes back and plays the entire game next time, and especially when they get back home and guys like Kelly Oubre and they can get guys like Buddy Hield going, maybe they're in a great position to win this series, to be completely honest. So that's my take. Cleveland versus Orlando. Paolo's coming out day. He had 24, 5, and 7 for a first playoff game. Those are very decent numbers. Franz Wagner, 18, 3, and 7, also very decent. Jalen Suggs, super stinker, and this is really my focal point when talking about the Magic. They need better guard play. 4 for 16, 13 points for Jalen Suggs. It's just not going to get it done. Cole Anthony off the bench, 0 for 7. It's just not going to get it done. Markelle Fultz, 0 for 4. Just not going to get it done. You need better guard play. Simple as that. They could have very well been in this game if they had just some offense coming from somewhere. Gary Harris, 0 for 6, 0 for 5 from 3. The offense just wasn't there from any of their guards. The front court definitely carried the load today. 10 from a center. We got 18, 24, 10 from, these are all front court players getting their buckets, so they definitely need better guard play. On the other side, they do not need better guard play. They got Donovan Mitchell, 30 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. They got Darius Garland, who had 14, 8, and 3, both shooting very efficiently. And here's my overreaction. The Magic are cooked. The Magic are cooked. I feel like if the Cavs can come out and just take care of business like they did last game, there's really no way for the Magic to beat this team. They just don't have the offensive firepower. Like I said, I think Paolo would have to really go off for them to beat this team. I'm not opposed to saying Cleveland in 4 if they're going to come out and assert their dominance like this, if Donnie is going to come out and really play like he's been playing in the playoffs for a lot of his career. So, hey, I got Cleveland in 4 after this. That's my reaction. My take for Lakers Nuggets is honestly that the Lakers just can't do it. I don't think the Lakers can do it. And I know a lot of Lakers fans are going to say, but D'Lo shot 6 for 20. If we go to the other side, Jamal Murray did not have a pretty game. He didn't. And these are the kind of games that you must capitalize. If you have Jamal Murray shooting 9 for 24, honestly, you have AD 32 points, 14 rebounds. You got LeBron 27, 8, and 6. You need to win this game. This has to be a game that you win, whether it's you give LeBron more touches and ask him to do more down the stretch, or you run more between Bron and AD, or whatever the case may be. If you got to get the ball out of D'Lo's hands because he can't hit a shot, he's 1 for 9. You guys have to win this game. That can't be an excuse for you, because this happened last season. Literally, this happened last season. D'Lo did not show up. D'Lo did not show up. So if we assume D'Lo doesn't show up for the rest of the series, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but let's say D'Lo just doesn't show up for the rest of the series. Is that always gonna be the excuse? We needed D'Lo to hit shots. Y'all are this close, and y'all have been this close in the last year's series in the Western Conference Finals. Now here in the first round, this close to a win, and y'all just can't pull it out in the latter moments of the game. So I mean, listen, man. The Nuggets just dominate y'all. To be completely honest, they do. Even with Murray not having a great game, they still pull out the W, double-digit W. So, I mean, hey, man, y'all going to have to figure something out if you're LA, if you even want to win a game, because y'all didn't win a game last time. I definitely had y'all to at least get one off the Nuggets, at least one. I didn't like what I saw in this game, especially for Bron and AD to be playing so well individually. For y'all to still lose this soundly is not a good sign, with Jamal Murray not playing as well as he can be. So that's my take, man. The Lakers just can't do it. Lastly, on the slate of games for game 1. Yeah, this one was a rough one to watch live, to be honest. Very sloppy play from both sides. You can see it was a very low-scoring game. B.I. terrible, 5 for 17. Herb Jones 2 for 10. CJ 9 for 22 and a terrible game winner attempt. Trey Murphy, I didn't even think Trey Murphy played that bad. 8 for 18, 5 for 12 from 3. His shooting was definitely kept him in a game for big portions of this game. Their leading scorer, so that tells you what you need to know about that. I honestly feel like I'll let this be my overreaction. If Zion plays, I'm picking the Pelicans in this series. If Zion is playing in this series, I think the Pelicans actually win this. Unfortunately, he gets hurt in the playoffs again. But the Oklahoma City Thunder did not look good today. They did not look sound. I want to see the turnovers as well. We had 13 turnovers for the Thunder, 14 for the Pelicans, and a lot of those were down the stretch. I was not a big fan of what I saw from pretty much anybody yesterday. Chet had a pretty decent night, but his impact just really faded away down the stretch of the game. I know he had a big block down the stretch, but besides that, I wasn't really seeing Chet down the stretch. Shea, it just wasn't a super efficient game. It just wasn't, honestly. 7 free throws. It wasn't Shea's best night. He had that super clutch bucket at the end, though, so I give him his props for that. 1 for 6 from Giddey, 2 for 6 from Dort. It just was not a pretty night. A lot of turnovers, very sloppy play. The group chat was talking about how this turned into a LA Fitness game. So, yeah, if you know what an LA Fitness or a YMCA gym looked like, that was pretty much the last 3 minutes of this game. Yeah, after watching that game, I definitely feel like this Pelicans team could beat the Thunder if Zion was healthy, unfortunately, on the sidelines again, but it is what it is. Those are my reactions to all of the game 1 so far. What are your reactions to the playoffs? Are you enjoying it? Disagree with anything I said? Put it in the comments down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.